That's good.
So, what are some of the upsides of wearing your natural hair? What are some of the things you've learned about life, about society, about people, just in general, about yourself?
I think the first thing I came to realize, and that came with my hair loss, is that, well, I am not sure for other persons, but I took my hair for granted, because I mean, I always had hair. I always had a lot of hair until like I had no hair, and then I had to go in the direction of getting wigs. So I think I took my hair for granted a lot. I wouldn't say that I place a lot of emphasis on my hair care, my hair products, and that sort of thing. Because to me that wasn't a priority at the time.
Right.
So
that was before your hair loss?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a priority until, afterwards. So now I have to spend more time taking care of my hair, because then when I had my natural hair prior to the relaxer, my sister would comb my hair for me. I didn't have to comb my hair on my own.
You didn't have that responsibility.
Yeah. But throughout the few years that I've had my hair natural, I think, and this is not to put people down, but I think that we are not as educated as we think we are. Well, some people are not as educated in terms of how to care for natural hair.
Right. That definitely.
From detangling my hair to combing my hair, like every time I go to get my hair combed, like I find it does more damage to my hair.
Right.
So for that reason, like I don't really go to get my hair combed or styled.
Right. So you're speaking about from persons outside of yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And we live in St. Lucia, and I mean, I was in Trinidad and she is in Barbados, so we don't really live in St. Lucia. I do now, but she doesn't really live here anymore, but we're from St. Lucia. And what she's saying pretty much is that our hair experts really don't know how to care for natural hair, which is true, and education needs to be a priority for hairstylists in terms of natural hair. And they're not willing to invest in that as yet. So hopefully we'll get it going and people will come on board because everybody's going the route of natural hair right now.
Yeah, it's much needed.
It is. And
even from, sorry to cut you short, but even like when you go to the hair shops, it's like every time I go, I have to be like, if I want
you have no
a moisturizer. They would give me like a moisturizer I would use when my hair was relaxed. And that's not the moisturizer that I need now.
Yeah, and even if you express your needs, they cannot direct you in a particular direction. So now for me, that is not a problem because I am a nerd, as I always say. And when I grew natural, I studied everything about natural, from ingredients. And like I said, I love the science. From ingredients to techniques, every single thing, I delved right into it. I wanted to know everything that I could know. I absorbed all kinds of information. But for other people who they're not as passionate about hair or natural hair or even taking care of hair. They want some guidance, and we cannot get that on the ground. I even see that with my mother. Like, it's on her, but in terms of what she would get on the style, what the stylist would do to her hair, it does not encourage growth.
No.
Yes. So they can style, but your hair might end up damaged.
Even with the styling, like I don't find that enough care is taken when they deal with the hair.
Right. So let's go back to what you were saying in terms of what you learned after your hair loss. Did you learn anything about yourself after your hair loss? Anything about society after your hair loss? Did you see any changes in people's perception of you?
I think initially a lot of persons didn't realize that my hair had actually fallen off. So when I had the wigs, like everybody was like, "Why are you wearing wigs? Your hair is so long and nice, and why do you have a wig?" And I found that maybe it was not their fault, but I found that some persons were very insensitive. They were very insensitive with their comments and stuff. And for me, it helped me to not be judgmental, because we sometimes we're not in a situation and we don't understand and we don't know like
what's the backstory.
Because I never liked wigs, and for me it was really hard, like actually going to a hair shop and buying a wig.
And you don't even know how to choose a wig. Like,
exactly. Or in passing, I bought like the first wig I got a lace front. So when I first wore the wig, I actually wore it with the lace.
Oh my god! No.
was the lace, and I think it was Nadia who told me that you have to like cut the lace like along your hair. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. So I actually learned that when you have a lace front wig that you have to cut
the lace. So that's something
I learned something.
So now
about
you can school somebody else about wigs. And
yes, my girl. Yes. Yes. So I guess that's
some of the things that
some of the things.
Okay. So did it in any way teach you anything about worth and where your worth comes from?
Yes, because I think again because growing up as a child, everybody's like, that was before my hair was relaxed. Everybody's like, my hair is really thick and it's really long and it's really nice. So that's what I grew up believing.
Right.
And I grew up also believing that this was my beauty.
Yes.
That this was my beauty.
This is where I wanted to go.
So that this was my beauty. And even for me, it took a while to understand, especially, and I think that's why I took my hair loss really hard. Mm-hmm. Because for me, it's like my hair has fallen and I'm not beautiful anymore.
Because that is everything that constitutes
this is my beauty. And because I no longer have this,
I'm
not beautiful. Yes. Yeah. So it was a rough journey, but it was one in which I learned how to how would I say it? Like have a different perspective on beauty, and especially as a black woman and growing up in the Caribbean and in St. Lucia, it's like we really need to begin to understand the true definition of beauty.
And it goes beyond your face, and that is where I wanted to go with it. Yeah. Because for me, people don't understand why I encourage people to do the big chop. Mm-hmm. And I encourage people to do the big chop because it is more than just hair to me. Mm-hmm. Like it really forces you to come from behind the covering and the hiding place of your hair. Mm-hmm. Because when you have hair, I mean, you cover it all up. You hide behind your hair. Especially if you have a lot of hair and you grew up with hair. And St. Lucians place a lot of emphasis on hair and beauty. And the big chop allows you to come out from that and look at yourself without the covering of hair. And look at your beauty beneath the surface.
Something else, right? Like, if it's my hair and I choose to cut it, like, what I don't understand is why everybody
that is mine.
Why you cut your hair?
As if you have some kind of shares of investment in your hair. Like, what the hell?
Like, and it's not just me. Like, even persons before or after me, and maybe I am guilty of like participating in it too. But it's like, why you cut your hair? Your hair was so nice.
Your hair so long.
And but it's your choice. It's your choice. And I think what it does is that it takes away from you, and you. Well, for some people, it takes away from some people where they get to the point where they're not empowered, not just in matters concerning their hair, but as an individual and as a woman. I mean, I can't even cut my hair without critics saying, like, you shouldn't cut your hair.
And you're not looking as nice. Your longer hair was nicer. Story. Like, this is my hair. I do whatever I want with it. Like
it has a lot to do with our culture.
It does.
It has a lot to do with our culture.
Remember my social experiment about why I relax my hair in the first place?
It has a lot to do with our culture.
Hair is very big in our society, and you have quite a link between hair and beauty hair. So if you grew up having what they call picky hair or neg hair, that's your fussy textures, especially if you did not know how to moisturize it and it did not grow to its capacity, then you were not considered beautiful when you were younger. So people love wigs and weaves because of these backstories, because of these cultural ideas placed in people's minds from childhood. So this conversation is going great. Oh we sound like scholars. Anyway,
we aren't.
We are. That's why I'm so proud. So, answer another question. What is your hair regimen like? What are the things you do on a constant basis? Okay, let me not give you such a loaded question. How often do you wash your hair?
When I started, like, when my hair was still short, I would wash like every other week. Because then I could just wash and go.
Right.
But then as it started getting longer and thicker, I started washing like once a month. And then when I got really lazy, I would not wash.
Once a month.
Once a month. I'd wash like once every 6 weeks.
Right.
But then.
Jesus.
So now what I do is that I wash anytime I think that it's necessary.
Okay.
I would not put a time frame on it because sometimes I use, like, there's this product I use and I found that it left my hair like really, really heavy.
Right, so it weighs your hair down?
Yeah, it weighs my hair down. So I washed my hair and I had washed my hair like the week before.
Okay, so you washed it.
So I washed it, yeah.
So really and truly you don't have a wash regimen, is what you're saying.
Okay, no, I don't.
When she started it was every other week and then it moved to once every 6 weeks. Right now it's once whenever.
but often enough, like.
Often enough, yeah.
Yeah.
And two, we have to take into consideration that she has a baby. I mean, he's a big boy now, so
yeah.
I'll give you a
thanks
blind.
Yes.
So, okay, how often do you deep condition your hair?
I haven't in a while, like months. That's
Jesus,
yes, in months.
help us, God.
Okay, I'm even ashamed, but I think the last time I did was February last year.
My God, it's almost a year.
Yes, my girl. I mean, yes.
What a shame! What a shame! What a damn shame! So
it's almost a year.
The last time she deep conditioned, but her hair is doing okay enough. But the last time she deep conditioned was last year, February. How do you moisturize? Well, I know these answers there, and I know that these answers are not good. But I'm giving her to you as she is.
Oh my gosh, you're putting me on the spot. How do I moisturize?
Mm-hmm. Do you moisturize?
A good question. When I do moisturize, I would just like if it's a leave-in, just put in the leave-in. But I would normally do it like right after I wash, because the hair is wet and I like using my hair. I find it's better. It's workable, more workable. That's the word, right?
Yes,
that's more workable. When it's
more
wet,
manageable,
so more manageable, right? So I like using the leave-in then. So I would just twist it right away. And that would be like myself for like a week, 2 weeks.
We know. Yeah.
So like that's the most I would do. I would use now I know that you have to like seal in the moisture and that sort of thing. Thanks to you. So you see, I was actually almost there. So I would like the liquid, the what it is?
Leave-in.
The leave-in, do I have a cream? Sometimes. But I never I never really stuck with any product.
Exactly. So she doesn't have a set of stable products or even products that she's tried for an extended period.
But I wouldn't use it to like sit in the moisture. Like I use it to like to oil my scalp. But now I know that I have to use it to sit in the moisture. So I will do that now.
Okay, so I will be schooling her on the basics, but as it stands right now, she only sometimes adds leave-in after she's washed and she twists her hair. Now, this twist out is the result of some twists I put in her hair. When you saw the Insta story, when I moisturized and trimmed her hair for her, these are the twists that was since last week. These are the twists that I put in her hair. But it happens to be quite moisturized. So I think she's found products that can work for her. But like I told her, product is half of the equation. A little even less than half of the equation. Technique is what matters. So I will be schooling her, don't you worry. Don't let your heart be troubled. And hopefully we'll see even more growth and retention. But her hair is quite healthy, even without all of the added and the extras.
Bless God.
Yes, hallelujah. My hair would not be like this without the extras. So her texture is different as well. So that may be a contributing factor to it. As much as we don't want to admit it, 4C and the lower 4 textures, 4B, 4C, they're more prone to breakage when dry. They're just more prone to breakage overall as compared to looser textures like yours.
So we have to find out
we have to find out. But I'm thinking she's probably 3B in some areas, 3C and 4A. These are where she is.